Ladies and gentlemen, from the murkiest depths of the Manning River, please welcome Glenn and Adam.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are we all?
Good. How you going, Diz?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're right. I told Dizzy I was going to bring him on in a minute or so, but
He's there now.
He's there now, so I forgot to turn him off.
I can't see anyone though.
Can't you? Why can't you? Why?
Oh, there you are. I found you.
Oh, hello.
I bet it's a pleasure to see Glenn again.
It is. Always.
Glenn,
Glenn,
I've got something sneaky I'm starting to build for you.
Oh.
Guess what that's going to be?
That looks like a super shallow diver.
Yep.
Nice.
It'll be similar to the one that I think you use. But anyhow, Adam showed me one.
Yeah.
So it'll be very similar with no bib.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So it should be good. We'll be able to. Mark's just put up a comment. The three amigos. Yeah. So it should be good. It was actually the one of the lures that I use. Glenn sort of doesn't use it, but it'll be worthwhile to see if Dizzy can sort of make something similar and like depth wise. So it'll be good.
I like to add action to a lure with a super slow retrieve with that rod twitch.
Yep.
So that
you like a jerk bait. Like a long jerk bait.
Well, I've never actually tried one.
Well, that's what you do with a jerk bait. It's slow, and you use the rod tip to make it dart around. That's why it's called jerk bait.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a jerk bait because Adam liked them.
Well, look, I won't argue with that point. You might be on a good thing there.
At least we're. I'm leaving that there. I could take that anywhere, Glenn.
You could. And you've probably got footage to back it up.
Oh, I do, mate. I do. So anyway, I'm going to play the promo for Dizzy because that's what I do, and he's here now, but I'll play it anyway. So
yeah.
we're going to play this for HM Lures. All right. This is Dizzy's promo.
HM Lures. Woohoo! Aussie built lures for Aussie fish. Get them at hmlures.eckwood.com.
And welcome to the chat, Dizzy.
Oh, yeah, hello, dude.
Pretty sexy lures, those things.
They are, aren't they?
They are very, very, mate, and they work too, which is good.
That's always a bonus.
It
Yes.
is.
Well, I've been hard at it all week too. You boys just always got to keep pushing the envelope, don't you?
We do, mate. We do. I've actually got a couple of photos from the weekend. Glenn and I went out last. Glenn went out. Tell us about your trip Saturday, Glenn. Then I'll tell us about.
Yeah, Saturday I fished a couple of usual spots that were a little quiet to start with. Surface was was completely shut down. For some reason they just weren't coming up. So I fished a shallow diver and did no good until probably about 3 hours into the trip. It was only little fellas, and then there was probably a 1 hour period that they fired up. And I ended up with seven fish between 42 and 50 and an 84.
That's all right.
Bloody
So,
hell.
yeah.
Anytime you can get something over 70 any day, you're doing fantastic.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're kind of get to the point where if we don't get a decent one like that, we're almost disappointed.
Well, you do keep pushing it to the point
We do.
where,
Yeah.
when you start sending me photos of me to Flathead, and then you're saying only a month or two before that we're going to get one this year, and then you both knock one off in 1 year. I go,
That's it.
well, come on, a 70 now is tiny compared to a metery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bloody oath.
Yeah, we're undercalling the length on anything under about 85 now. They just look small.
Yeah. So, but then we went out on Sunday. We did the Manning on Sunday.
Yep.
And I do actually have a little bit of a clip and a couple of photos. So, Glenn, this is one of the ones that Glenn got on the bent mullet. Which is that the?
Yeah, that was the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the bigger lure.
Yep. Okay. Is that the dirty mullet or is that just the standard? Dizzy,
Hang on.
That looks like a standard mullet from the
Yeah,
distance.
that was the standard mullet. No, I was thinking about the bigger one up in the shallower water.
Oh, yeah,
on the big flat. Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah,
then
that's the standard mullet in the 110 100 mil.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you went elsewhere, and I went actually back the opposite direction to what you were fishing, and I ended up with a 70. I was about 76, something like that, 77 out of that spot.
Yep.
Probably closer to 76, but yeah. So and that was on the Gar there again. Diz, that one's been smashing it in the Manning on the bigger flathead, which was good. So we did that, but I've got a clip here. No one's seen yet, so I'll put it up now so we can just have a watch, and I'll actually, I'll put that, and then we'll catch up on the chat. So where is it? Here it is.
Sweet.
So that was the bigger one you were talking about, I think, Glenn, was it?
Yeah, it was only slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was on the big gar.
Yeah, that was on the gar for you. And that smaller one that had a crack at my pink lure, which I threw away the next cast.
Again?
Again, yeah. Dizzy, I need more pink lures, mate. It threw the hooks on me, so yeah. But the good news is Dizzy's been making a few. Look at that.
Oh, I like that little chrome fin on it too.
It's good, isn't it? Hey?
Have you showed him the special ones I made up for the giveaways?
No, I haven't shown. Well, actually, we'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at this. Okay, so these are the giveaway ones tonight. We're giving 3 lures away tonight from HM Lures. So we've got these are 180s, aren't they, Diz?
Yep.
Yep, 180s with the stingers on the back.
In the pink.
So, yeah, and
nice.
we haven't even used these ones yet. So whoever gets these are going to be bloody lucky.
Hell yeah.
And then we got that one. That one looks good, doesn't it? Eh?
Yeah, that we're calling a Glengar.
Glengar.
A Glengar.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting. And then we got that
he's
one.
the only one that wants gold.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Oh, that's got to be a winner too.
Yeah, look at the bright fluoro green on that one.
You've actually got probably the three best bloody colours on the planet.
Yeah,
Mate,
so
you don't think I'm not listening to what you're saying?
Yeah, fair enough.
You're the ones that are out there catching all the big flathead. If you say this colour's working, the next time I paint, that's the colour I paint.
That's it. Yeah,
that's simple.
We'll catch up on some Mesa. Tuned in for more fishing tips and secrets. You won't get any secrets from me, but you'll get them all from Glenn.
I'll tell you all Adam spots.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. They're Glenn spots. What's this? Okay, Dave, how is the GoFundMe going? Well, that ended last week, Glenn? Was that last week? That ended? Week before?
Hang on, just give me 1 second. $8,215.
There you go, 8,200.
It's still open there at the moment, as far as I can tell. I think.
That'll pay for about half one ticket, won't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that how it works? It's the one who bids the highest gets the seat.
That's it.
So no, that was it went really well, and it is still open at the moment. James, what do we got from James Evans? What's the best lure to get jewfish with, as they're easy to spear? I mainly catch them on the beach worms. Diz, you've got a few mullet ones at the moment, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're pretty good, either rocks or beach. I mean, there was many years ago that the guys used to only ever throw big lures off the rocks, and we started doing it off the beach in the gutters of a night time and started cleaning up, and thought, why hasn't somebody done this before? And we'd never heard of anyone else doing it, but boy, did we clean up.
Yeah, right.
It's the same as off the rocks. You're just standing there casting the lure, constantly waiting for the fish to come through. Yeah. It's just that off the beach, when you get a bite and you set those hooks, it's about a 99.9% chance you're going to land the fish. Whereas off the rocks, the bigger the fish, the harder it is to get it on.
Yeah,
right.
Well, that's the thing. Off the beach, you could fish a little lighter, cast a little further, and enjoy
you
the
can't
bite
get too much lighter.
No,
because the secret is getting it back through that whitewash. You don't want to be mucking around. You want to be able to keep the pressure on. If you go too light, sometimes it can bugger you up. We went down that road and went a bit too light a few times and went, nah, this is no good. We'll go back up a little bit heavier. But it's the beach is actually quite good. And if you're a working angler and you like to sort of move up and down the beach and chase those gutters and try to find the right corners of the gutters at the right times, or the run out areas, you can move up and down that beach all night throwing lures and just keep catching good fish. And the other advantage to off the beach is you don't just get good jewfish, you'll get everything else too. So
And I think that's something that we need to start doing too, Glenn, because we've been talking about it, we just haven't done it.
Oh yeah, well someone's always working every Saturday and.
Shh, no.
You live on the doorstep of some of the biggest jewfish I've ever seen and heard of caught on the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, when I used to be down there on holidays when I was a young fella, some of the big G fish I used to see being brought in off the beach down there at Old Bar was just insane.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah. No, that's because there's reefs just off the Old Bar Beach there and all that. And do they? I don't know if they still get the gutters there like they used to. Do they, Glenn? I haven't been. Or Meso might be able to answer
I
that.
haven't been down Old Bar Beach for a long time. I know there's a good reef in close off Elam down South Foster.
Okay.
It's a fairly good tailor spot there, but you could cast almost to the top of, like to the edge of the reef and retrieve back through a gutter that is on the inside of the reef.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that'd be a prime spot.
Yeah, rightio. Cool. But Meso might be able to answer that, to tell us how, if he wants to give away some of his secrets on how Old Bar Beach is going, but it's been a while since I've fished it. Yeah, so we do, hang on, I've got to go back here for Matt. You guys still going to have a chat about Lake Mac? Yes, we are, mate. We're going to chat about Lake Mac very shortly. And we don't know a lot about it, but I have a young fella coming on shortly that's going to have a chat with us, and Glenn doesn't know about this yet, neither does Dizzy, so we've got an extra person coming. Yeah.
We're just mushrooms.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We'll just, but there you go. Shane, Badgers is always deep. Yeah, well, that's down Old Bar there, so yeah, well, that's good to know. We might have to line it up one night. We'll all go for a flick, eh?
Well, that'd be the go.
Yeah,
I'd come, but they built a wall down near the border, so I can't get
That's
down
it.
there.
Yeah. That's to keep you guys in, not us out.
Yeah, Dizzy, we don't want you catching all our fish. Yeah, so
Well, we haven't been able to go south sufficient, so we've been going north.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only bad side about going north fishing is we've decided we're moving up there within the next 12 months because the fishing's just too good.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, that's the go.
And then you'll never want to come back because you'll hate it.
No, well, I mean, what do you do? I mean, you go south for brim flatted and maybe the odd jewfish, or do you go north for, big queenies, barra? What? Like, that's it. I won't say too much. Redfish, like those little mangrove jacks that run around the creeks.
Yeah, and a quick trip offshore, you got your coral trout and your big jacks.
You don't even have to go offshore to get
No,
coral
well,
trout
that's
up there.
it.
We were catching them in the brim club the other week.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, Jesus.
What do I say?
Yeah.
And everyone else has got big boats, and they just put them in and they go straight offshore and they leave everything here at your doorstep alone. I'm just going, I can't believe we get this to ourselves.
Oh,
there
yeah.
was no water mosquitoes flying around.
Yep.
The water mosquitoes.
Yeah, the buzzy
There was none of them.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no leeches that every time you moved to another spot that they'd all show up and start trying to move on in. So we were loving it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I did a trip to Fraser years ago with a bunch of mates, and we took 3 tinnies up. 2 tinnies. And, yeah, the fishing up there was amazing. And everything was accessible within bugger all offshore.
Yeah,
right. Inside and outside the island. We were getting Spanish queenies. And we even caught kings off an enclosed wreck up there. You flick a livey out, and the livey would come skipping back and hide under the boat.
Yep.
It was
just like what those poppers do when you throw them out. They come
That's right.
skipping back and get under the boat.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why the fish jump all over poppers when they see that happening. They
That's
go,
it.
there's another livey trying to get back under the boat.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, Diz, you've upgraded your way of making your lures now too, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll
No more hard work for me to make the damn things. It's just a lot of hard work to keep up the other side of it now with the painting and the assembly and all the rest of it.
Yeah, rightio. Well,
and as you can see, the
wall's looking much better.
I was on it this week.
Yeah.
bloody oath. About time you did some work.
Been flat out all week trying to get that wall filled up.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at this. This is Dizzy's new little setup. How much easier is that?
Yep.
Oh,
And
oh,
consistency, uniformity.
yep. I'll be able to throw as many as I want away now.
Hell yeah.
Oh no. You've got to remember, I don't get very many seconds anymore.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, just send him a bunch of blanks. He can paint them himself.
Well, that's what I have done.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bloody oath. But no,
Those first prototype 180s, they sent them down to you and said, "No, that's it. They go
That's
down
it,
white. You can do what you want."
don't tell Glenn I didn't give him his.
Oh, did you send something down, did you?
That's all right. He'll just follow you around and wait for you to cast it away.
Yeah, I'll wait for you to throw it away. I'll just go and get it.
No, he's got his. I gave it to him so he could paint it. So
No,
yeah.
no, I haven't.
Oh. This is one of the other lures you've been working on here too. These look really good. I'll just flick this.
Custom pink 150 minnow. BKK hooks, 3 times strong. Big aluminium bib. Check out that action.
They look good, Diz.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
they look real good.
lots. I won't say lots, but there is a fair bit of new stuff happening. I've got all these prototypes that I've already mucked around with, but now that I've got the machine that's going to allow me to sort of pump out a few more lures, I'm going to start making the masters up, and hopefully over the next few months you'll see a lot more stuff roll out. So there'll be a bit more variety for people. That's just the only thing that was stopping me before was I just didn't have the time to actually increase the range of lures that I had because I was having enough trouble keeping up with what I got. I'm still having enough trouble keeping up with what I got, but I'm hoping the machine will, over the next few months, will allow me to keep up and add a bit more to it. So
Yeah,
And
right.
there is a lot of time involved in actually shaping lures. No matter what method you use, if you haven't got that sort of equipment to do it with, it's so time consuming.
Yeah, and the other thing too is it's not just the shaping that can take up a long time. It's the way you put the lure together, and the way I do it is I like to seal the wood properly. So it gets quite a few seal coats before I even start looking at putting any paint or anything else on. So there's a lot of coats of epoxy that goes underneath paint and then over the top of paint to make sure that the lures are tough. Otherwise, you've got to go to a stronger, heavier wood, and then that adds more weight. And the problem is you're always balancing too much weight versus strength. So there's always you got to try and find that balance. So like with the new 180s, you'll notice they're almost half the weight of the old ones.
Yep.
And I've done that deliberately because I kept hearing people saying they were using heavier rods to be able to cast them. So I thought if I made them lighter, and you use a lighter rod, you should still be able to cast them a reasonable distance.
Yeah.
And not have to use such heavy gear. So
true.
So that was the reason I did that. What's going on here? We changed something.
No, you're right, mate. You're right. I'm just playing around with my screen. Don't stress. I'm just I like to see what I can do here because I've got the young fella coming on shortly. I'm just trying to play around with it.
How you're going to do it?
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it works. Okay, I've got a couple of questions here. Hang on, this isn't the question, but Footy, how are you, mate? He's back in. Okay, so Dave Brown, do you have anything to throw at pelagics? Diz?
Oh, God, pretty much any of it.
Well, what do you talk about? Is in divers or surface?
Dave, can you? He'll reply in a second. I think he's talking surface, but he might be talking shallows too. So
I've got nothing surface wise at the moment, but it is coming. I can tell you that now. I've got the big poppers already made up.
Yep.
Because I've always made them, but they've always been only a custom item where people order them specifically because they're quite expensive because they're a big popper for most of the guys that. When they go up to Gladstone, they head out to Wreck Reef and all those sort of places up there. That's when they're using a lot of that stuff. And they've always been, pretty expensive because the amount of hours that go into making one decent popper. It's quite extreme.
You've got to make them so strong.
Oh, it doesn't matter how strong you make them, they just destroy them.
Yeah,
And
so
that's the
yeah.
guys say. They don't care so much if the lure gets destroyed, as long as they catch the fish.
That's right.
destroys it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the secret is when you put the internal wires in, we don't just fold them over or twist them. When I make those ones, they get folded over, they get welded, and they get clamped.
Yep.
So there's no way in the world that the fish is getting
So
away.
even
You
if all the
destroy the
timber,
lure,
yeah,
the
the
piece of
timber
wire that's
timber
through the
can break off.
will not break.
Yep.
And that's the secret, and that's probably what takes up a fair bit of the time, because once you've done all that, you've got to clean it up so that you can fit into a very tiny slot in the lure, because the bigger the slot you make it, the weaker you're weakening the wood. So you've got to keep that slot thin as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's a lot that goes into it to try and make one that's not only strong enough to handle a fair punishment, but it's going to handle, getting that fish back when you catch that fish of a lifetime.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I just had 3 dogs come barreling in 100 mile an hour. Come here.
They want to get on.
Oh God.
Someone's let them inside.
Hey, Glenn, he doesn't call that a dog, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, what about it? I got a daughter here. There we are. There's a little girl. They
Where's
go on
Rhino?
berserk.
Let the real dog in. Let the
He'll
real dog in.
he'll destroy everything. My darling wife's going to get him out of the bedroom for me. Don't you just love this live stuff? Okay. Dave's going. Average cost of a quality lure is $100. So that's what they pay.
Yeah, and that's exactly so the most of the stuff that I was making was that and up, depending on what they wanted. But because a lot of those guys were asking for some pretty extreme lures. I mean, not just in build, but in size. I used to scratch my head and I say, "How are you guys throwing these damn things?"
Yeah.
You'd only get 2 or 3 throws, and you'd have to stop and have a 6-pack to have a break before you
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Joseph, what's good lure for sooty grunter? Anyone been catching any sooty grunters on your gear, mate?
Yeah, most of the small lures they get them on a lot. There's the 95, the 95 mil one. There's a few guys were up there, just north of Gladstone. I think it was about a week ago. They sent me some photos. I should have sent them through. I'm going to try and remember to send this stuff through to you, mate. But
You're right.
I got some photos where they got some good sooties, actually. I was a bit surprised. They said they took that lure and they said, not a problem in the world. So
Okay.
I actually didn't think they'd take lures quite so big, but they didn't have a trouble getting them. So
Yeah, sweet, awesome.
They'd be a lot like bass. If they can fit it in their gob, they'll try and eat it.
yeah, well, it's I suppose it's like any fishing, especially when you start heading to North Queensland. A lot of those fish probably haven't seen lures anyhow. So
No.
some of the guys get into places that you've probably only seen a few humans in their lifetime. So
Yeah, that's right. And this I didn't show Glenn this one. Diz, this is one of your darker green ones, is it? There's like the gar looking thing. Yeah.
yeah, they were the ones I was making the other night. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they look good.
finished them. I just thought, sent you a photo. Look what I'm doing.
Yeah, awesome. And I like the red eyes. Flatty seemed to like red eyes for some reason. I know it sounds strange, but the red eyes seem to get the bites. He'll catch the fisherman. So plenty of red eyes, Diz?
I've always been a believer that a lure without eyes is better because it can't see what's coming.
That's right.
Good on you.
There you go. Easier target, see?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, anyways.
Well, you'll have to start making a blind mullet now.
Well, I better not put any eyes on my one that I'm painting out in the shed then, that you sent me. I might catch a few. I'm still waiting on young Riley to show up. He's messaged me. He says he's going to be here in a second. But because we're going to have a quick chat about Lake Macquarie and a few little areas. He's having a few issues and we think we know what's going on. So we'll just have a bit of a chat with that. But we have, and I messaged Glenn about this the other day, or I tagged him in it, and Dizzy knows that it's all happening. We have the Australian Flathead Challenge coming up in December, 4th and 5th, if I remember rightly. I think it's on there somewhere. And Glenn, have you decided if you're going to enter or not?
No, I'm going to give you a chance.
Oh, you're not going to enter?
Oh, well, I might.
Oh, okay.
I haven't decided yet. I might just not tell anyone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Yeah, but always up for a challenge. So, oh yeah, there it is, December 4th and 5th. Yeah,
Well,
so
I haven't fished any sort of comp for years and years and years.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good fun. We just go out and have a bit of fun, eh, Diz? That's how.
Yeah, well, that's what you can. You're basically just fishing your own area, aren't you? Like just photograph and whatnot. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, so it should be good. It should be a good comp, and I'm not expecting to go flash hot, but it's always a good challenge.
Well, I'm sorry to put the pressure on you, but I'm expecting you to go shit hot. If you want me to make all these lures for you in time for that, you've got to do well.
If I enter, I'm gonna fish from opening time through to closing time and not sleep.
Here we go. Dave's got Glenn Anders, Adam Mays will stay at home. Yeah, well,
well, he's gonna be at home for half the trip or working.
Yeah, I'll be working half
after
the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so hang on. I've just got a message from Riley here. Just 2 seconds. What's he got? He's trying to figure out how to get in. He said he clicked on it, it just came up as myself with the camera on.
Yep. Okay. So tell him to cut the link out and put it in his browser, and you'll get through. That's how I had to do.
Okay, no worries. Riley, did you hear that, mate? He's listening, he's watching. So you got to copy and paste the link, mate, and do it yourself. You know, we can't hold your hand all day.
Yeah, they did the same thing to me, mate. Don't worry about it. They just just hit the link, it'll work. No,
it didn't work. Yeah, so
Sam's going to look after us.
Oh, is he? He's going to. Oh, sweet.
He's going to do the beer and food run.
Oh, that's good. That's good. He's going to run
fuel.
And fuel. And what's Oh yeah, okay. I'm just Dave sent me a photo of his collection of lures that he uses for off the stones and stuff, chasing tuna and whatever. But while we're waiting, we'll have a look at a few photos I got of Lake Macquarie. So this is an overall photo. Dizzy, you fished in a few brim comps down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no worries. And I fished one down there with Amy one day in your one of your comps that you were running down there. It was a good time, but I'd never fished it before in my life, so it was a big learning curve. So what I've got here, I've separated the lake into a certain few areas, and I just got to make sure I click on these right ones. Okay, so this is the northern area of the lake. This is right up the top. Glenn, if you were to hit that section of the lake for flathead, sort of surface wise and whatever, you explain where you would go.
Oh, well, I can't really see a great deal of detail as far as depth, but I'm assuming the top left hand corner is shallower and weed beds, possibly mud flats.
Yep.
Definitely around that area. Bottom left is a similar sort of area, unless that's a mangrove area.
There is mangroves there, but
if so, then I'd definitely be working the hard edge of that.
Yep.
In the shallower sections if I could find them.
And over to the right there, it looks like there's a few weed beds.
Yeah, that big bay. On the bottom side of that big bay, there also looks like weed beds. But anywhere there's actually shallower water with a good supply of weed beds and a mix of open water as well as weed beds.
Yep. Okay. So I've got another spot here. I'll go to this one. Dizzy knows this area pretty well because I was told that you actually won a brim comp down this way, Dora Creek, mate. Did you ever? I heard that you won a brim comp from that area one day, but I don't know how true that is. I just got
up in that little lake there.
Yeah.
Right up the back.
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
up the back of the left hand side as you look at it.
Yep. Okay.
That's the good spot.
That's the good spot for the brim, and that's pretty shallow in there too, isn't it? Like
it's idle all the way up.
Yep.
You can't get on the plane in there. It's shallow, but not only is it good for the brim, that's where the flathead were.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that there would be a prime target, especially on a hot summer's day and all that, early morning or whatever. The flathead would get up in there and lay in there and keep warm. The mouth of Dora Creek there, mouth of Dora Creek, that's
There's
where I caught my
reef
in there.
There's some reef off the front of that Dora Creek too. There's a few rocky
is there?
edges. Yeah, out a bit wider, which hold fish. But
Yeah,
the whole secret of that area there is you want the wind blowing to the mouth of the creek, and in that lake you want the wind blowing up to that left-hand end. If it's blowing the other way, it never fires. So I think that's northeast.
Yeah, a northeasterly
blow,
wind.
and if it's blowing southwest, it usually doesn't fish as good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's what it was like when I was fishing it, anyhow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we know about those south southerly winds, don't we, Glenn?
Oh, we love them. Love a southerly. 30 knots or more is best.
Yeah,
Oh,
when it's
mate.
ice cold. Oh.
When the 30 knot southerly hits up here, it's time to put your boat in and go fishing. It is awesome.
Is it?
There's probably still 30 degrees up there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
down
we
here.
just go out the islands in the bay out here and get in the lagoons, and we just smash fish, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah. Okay, so, that's right, because Mark's saying just south near the hot water inlet, there's an island. Behind the island in the shallows, a huge flatty. So he's saying near the inlet, hot water inlet, wherever that is that near Dora Creek, is it, if I remember rightly? I think that's where they catch the hammerheads and all that in around that inlet.
Yeah, well, that's apparently the warmer water holds a lot more bait.
Yep. So, so there's an area to try. Now, this one here, Glenn, I know exactly where you're going here. This is the entrance. This is Swansea Channel.
Oh, so which photo am I looking at? The right end? Or
Well, no. Well, it's the same photo, but it's dark on one side. So say the lighter side. Say you're looking at the lighter side there on your right, the lake entrance where you got all that shallow sand and that Swansea Channel goes up through there, and then you got all the islands. And then in that little back area, there's a little bay that goes near Mark's Point.
Look, I'd just work my way from the very top edge of that, the entrance on the lakeside, and just hammer the edge of that all the way around.
All the way through, yeah. It
All
looks
the way
prime.
into those little channels up between those islands.
Yep. No.
I'd spend all day just hammering that.
Yeah, it looks prime, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks real good. Yeah.
Get plenty of flow in the water there, and there'd have to be flathead hanging around those edges.
Yeah, and see, that's the best thing about Google Earth. People can jump on it, have a look, and just have a look at all those little shallow areas, and then pick and choose where they want to go. I know it's not easy if you're in a kayak, but if you're in a boat, then you can just go from spot to spot and go there. But so here we go. What's he good? Josh, biggest king came from that bridge. That must be on. He's talking Swansea. Yeah, okay. I've heard a lot of fish get caught on there. Okay, Matt says they're more in the south section, and I bet you I didn't put a photo up of the southern section of the lake. Hang on a second.
The southern section of the lake is awesome.
Is it?
Yeah.
I might have to. I'm sure I grabbed one, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, you want to be down towards Chain Valley Bay.
Yeah, rightio. Okay. And I still haven't seen bloody Riley yet. I'll have to go back on.
I think Riley's down that way.
Yeah. And see young bloody. Just bear with me here. You and Dizzy keep talking. I've got to find out what Riley's doing. Whenever you want me to join, let me know. Riley, you can join now, mate. You just got to click it and come on in.
Yeah, just click the link. It'll work.
Yeah. Whenever you want, mate.
Don't listen to them, Riley. They're always lying. They told me to hit the link, it'll work.
Mark sent me a photo here. Bombs Bay. Okay. Oh yeah, he's talking about up in around where we were just talking about. Okay. Come on, Riley, let's go. Dizzy's waiting for all these questions you got for him.
They can ask me anything. I'm only a dumb lure maker.
He only makes them.
Yeah, mate, that's right.
I listen to what everyone else says and then just do that.
That's exactly
And
right.
that's the sign of a good lure maker.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so while we're waiting for Riley, I got a clip of the week. Glenn's seen this. He's seen this the other day. Yeah, I sent it to you. Remember when Sam and I was saying come and grab stuff from my house? And
Sam and Jamie.
no,
No. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So Riley's figured it out. Okay, that's good. Awesome. Good work, Riley.
Well done. pal.
We're putting shit on him before he gets here.
Wait till he shows up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Sam and Darren, not Dizzy Darren, but Darren Vardy come and grabbed a couple of things from my house the other day, and they admired my lawn. And we'll just have a look at this video clip. As we all do, everyone admires my lawn, and that people have been waiting for me to put a video up of my lawn, and here it is. So the story of that is, Dizzy, do you remember the really, really big surface lure you sent me in a package one day because you made it, you didn't know what to do with it, so you sent it to me? It was a long time ago. A long time ago. Yeah. Okay.
I just said you're the garbage.
Yeah, that's right. This thing was huge. Anyway, Darren collects lures. Okay, so he's got this lure collection. And I said to him, and he helped out a lot with Glenn's the fundraiser, GoFundMe for Glenn's young fella and all that. And I said, look, mate, I got a lure here for you for your collection. Come and get it. So I left it on my front step, and this thing was pristine. This thing was absolute pristine. Anyway, he gets down the bottom of my driveway. This thing comes flying out of the back of his head. I still don't know how he did it. I'd hate to see it because I reckon it had chips all over the bloody thing now. The poor bugger. But anyway, no, he's a good bloke, and he came and got it. So, yeah. No, it was awesome. So
Now,
anyway.
Getting back to the lawn,
Oh,
I was having a good look at that lawn of yours, mate. You really need to put a bit more effort into that. That's not looking real healthy. Now, this is coming from someone who deals with lawn all day as a job.
Oh, that's right. You're a caretaker, aren't you? Here we go. Can you give me some tips, mate?
Yeah. Concrete it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, put a shed on it so you can put your boat under it.
Yeah, that's it.
I like when Sam walked up there. I like the way he checked the wind. He threw the grass up in the air, like he was about to tee off.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Now, I don't know where Riley is. He still hasn't turned up yet. What are you doing, son?
Yeah, you gave him too much shit earlier on. He went, oh, no, that's too dangerous. I'm going to bail.
I'm going to have to, I'll send him another link. If he doesn't turn up soon, we're going to have to start giving away some lures. Okay, so I'll send him another link because he's got lots of questions for you, Diz, but he just hasn't shown up yet. He's gone shy. And you know Riley, don't you, Diz? He's the young fella from down Lake Macquarie. He's been using a lot of the HM lure bents and stuff like that, and he's been trying to copy Glenn.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, young fella. He's been doing a few videos, so he's and he's goes really good. He's just struggling to get those surface fish, but he sent me a video the other day, and what it was he's fishing this area and there's just snotweed everywhere. He said he's been pulling them out on plastics, but I said to him, if there's snotweed, it's probably still too cold, because what snotweed's like. It's just it's a wintertime fucking cold water thing, and so I think it's just too cold.
And Lake Mac's pretty bad for that, because the reason why there's certain fingers of that area, that lake, that fish well, is because they got the hot water outlets from the power stations. And that's the reason why most of us go to there and we start fishing there first and work our way out, because we keep an eye on water temp, and we know while we're in reasonable water temperatures, we're going to catch fish. As soon as the water temp drops below a certain degrees, depending on the time of the year, you know that your fish bite they're going to go. It's just going to disappear real quick.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah,
it's one of the secrets for that place. You just head down to where there's a hot water outlet and start looking in those bays. You'll see the temperature go up if you're in a boat and you got your sounder on.
Yeah,
it's quite dramatic actually. You don't realise how much hot water comes out and mixes and actually increases the water temperature in those areas.
Okay, and so basically, what Riley and Matt might need is, if they're using kayaks, they might need a sounder just to keep an eye on that water temperature and just see what it's at, because where he's fishing,
don't need a sounder. They just
Just
need to
feel
tie. Just get an old thermometer and tie a bit of string on and throw it over the side like we used to do when we were kids. We were in our tinnies. We didn't have sounders. What temperature doing? I'll have a look. Yeah. 2 seconds later, pull it out. Yep, it's too cold. Let's keep going.
Well, there you go. See, there's an easy way. If
everybody relies on technology, you don't need it all. I mean, we used to deal without it. You just got to use up here and just think of another way to do it.
Come on, Diz. You took me out in the lake and you needed the GPS to find your fishing spots.
You needed it. You weren't even in the right spot the next day, and you had it. Tell the story. How far? You were miles off the mark.
Oh, it might have been a metre or two. I don't know about miles.
You even had the advantage of following the track from the day before. You still missed it.
Yeah. Anyway, I know. Anyway, guess what? Riley's turned up. We're going to bring him on screen, mate.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, he's going.
I'm going to get rid of my screen here, and if I can, yeah, there he is. There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
He's made it. That's the main thing, mate. You should have heard the shit that Glenn was giving you.
But first thing, Riley, whatever these two say, don't listen to them. They're full of shit all the
time. Mate, so you've been. Did you catch any of what we were just talking about then with the technology and the thermometers over the side of the kayak and all that? Okay.
Hear any of it?
Okay, Dizzy, can you explain it to Riley again, mate?
Yeah, just go down to the chemist, buy yourself a cheap thermometer, right? All you do is tie a string on or build a fishing line on the end of it. And when you're going down fishing in your kayak, you throw it over the side. When you want to check the water temperature, you just pull it up and have a look.
Yeah.
Don't need technology. It's so simple. It'll tell you whether you're in the right temperature water or not.
I never thought it had that much to do with it. That's kind of why I hadn't been into it. But
massive. If you can work out the temperature range that the fish are sitting in every year, because it'll vary, then you'll be able to go basically and follow that temperature range around the lake, and you'll catch fish consistently all the time. You'll never miss. It is that important. If it's too warm, sometimes they don't like it. If it's too cold, they won't like it. Yeah. And if the water temperature is changing too much in an area too fast, they won't like it either.
Yeah.
So you're looking for consistencies where the water temperature is going to be reasonably consistent for a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I think it must be pretty cold down here at the moment. Like Adam was saying, there's snotweed just absolutely everywhere. So,
Yeah, that's a sign it's cold.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just normally, when I end up falling in, then it's cold.
So what part of the lake? What part of the lake you fishing?
I'm far south, so down near Chain Valley Bay, Summerland Point.
Well, you're in the right spot. That's the areas.
Yeah, it's a good area. Yeah.
That's gonna have more warm water in there than most of the rest of the lake.
Well, yeah, it's kind of close to the power station, but I'm on sort of like the inlet side, so
Yeah, it's still it moves around.
yeah.
You'd
definitely.
be surprised.
Oh, in summer it's like ridiculously warm in there. It's like bath water. But
Yeah, well, sometimes that'll get too hot, and you'll find the flathead won't be in the shallows. I'll just use the deeper water where it's cooler, or they'll move further up the lake.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
so
you
you
just got to find when you start getting onto them, you just got to take notice of what the water temperature is, and start just taking a mental note every time you have a good day fishing. What was the water temperature, and it won't take long to put the pieces together.
Yeah, I think I might have to start doing that.
Yeah, so you've been getting onto a few though, haven't you, mate? Like with plastics and stuff.
Yeah, with plastics and like divers and stuff. Like I was throwing one of Dizzy's like I don't know if you'd call it a glide bait or a swim bait, one of the mullet things. But I was throwing that yesterday and I got a good hit, but I don't know, I just didn't connect to the hooks. I'm pretty terrible at that. It pulled drag for a few seconds and then nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah, it happens though. Like Glenn does it all the time.
And long Tom love those things, eh?
Yeah. No. But yeah, so is there snotweed everywhere down there, mate, where you're fishing, or is there just patches? Is there?
It's everywhere. Everywhere within say a few centimeters to like a few feet, maybe a meter.
Right.
It's just like the shallows. I can't get the Hobie in there, like, because it blocks up my rudders. So
right.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay.
So you haven't had any rain or anything down there for a while.
Oh, it's on and off, but it's nothing major. It's just
So just you need some real hot weather or a good dose of rain to give it a bit of a flush.
Yeah, it needs to flush it out, I think. But
Yeah, right. Yeah.
in summer, there's like practically none. Hey, like in the warmer months.
It'll be too hot for it in summer.
Yeah.
Because we get it up here, but we get it for 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as the snotweed turns up, we know that's pretty much the end of our winter season. And within a few weeks after that, we're into summer season instantly. It changes that fast up here.
That's crazy. It's been here for ages. It's been here since like even before winter. So
yeah. See, well, use probably get down to around, I suppose, 12 to 14 degree temps at times in winter time in some areas.
Yeah.
Mate, we're lucky to see it go under 17, 18 up here. I mean, 19's our winter zone that we like to be in. And we're only there for 2 months of the year, and then we're back up to anywhere between 23 and 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And like Glenn, we've hit a few flatty in winter time on the surface, but it's not like sort of early spring onwards, is it? Like we very rarely see that surface.
No, well, I mean, I've done a lot down in the lake over this winter just gone on surface, and they were firing up until about probably 2 months ago.
Yep.
I was still consistently getting surface flathead, and then they just shut down. Whether or not that was just the water temperature dropped off to the point where they were starting to be a bit lazy.
Yeah.
They still hitting shallow divers, but surface just disappeared.
Yep.
In the lake down here. But,
yeah. No, that's right. And that's like I think we were saying last week. We were struggling to sort of get surface hits in the Manning in certain areas where we were fishing, and once we started sort of hitting those mud flats where the heat sort of stayed in the mud a bit more than the sand, we've been getting a few, but it's still not firing like it will in another month or so, especially once we get around that the comp coming up. You entering the comp, mate, or what? Right?
Me?
Yeah.
What one? The
Flathead
European?
Challenge. Yeah, that's it. Why not?
Ah, come on, mate.
Get
You'll be
into
all
it.
over it by then.
Dizzy's
I don't
making
know.
lots of lures.
Man, I'm lucky if I get one good fish like in a day. I'm like, these blokes are getting like a fair few in a day. I don't know.
You'll be right,
Plus,
mate.
like,
You'll
it takes
never,
the
you'll
fun
never
out of
get
it.
there if
Yeah.
you don't have a go, mate. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
how many
Put a
days?
bit of pressure on yourself. It's the best way to improve.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
how many days have we gone out and caught lemon 50 centimetre flathead or 45 centimetre flathead? We just don't tell you about those days.
That's right.
You never get too out on the water.
Oh, mate, there's been days when we've gone out and caught absolutely nothing. Like,
Yeah.
literally nothing.
Yeah.
Same here, yeah. Complete donut. Yeah.
And
Well, I've had to
And-
save trouble when I fish with Adam too.
That could be what it is.
that's it. Yeah, but see, the thing is too, sometimes you can get stuck in a rut and not change your ways. Like, we love the surface hit, and that's probably why we stick to it so much. But sometimes, especially with a comp coming up or something like that, you got to change
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Gotta
Otherwise,
slow it down a bit.
yeah, I learned that with Dizzy and Brim comps. You know, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. You got to have a plan B. Like, your plan A is something you do all the time, but plan B, you just, you know, still go out and have fun, but you just got to work on something a bit different from time to time. Otherwise, you know, you get stuck in a rut. And
Oh yeah.
Glenn knows it.
Generally, when I start fishing an area for flathead, it'll be surface lures first up, and I'll cover that whole area with surface lures. If there's nothing showing on surface, then I won't move. I'll throw the shallow diver, and then if it's an area that's got little channels between weed beds, if I don't do any good on the shallow diver, then I'll start chucking the plastic.
Yeah.
And then if I get nothing out of that area, I'll know they're shut down because they're there. They're just not eating. And I'll move to another spot, maybe some deeper water, or move to the other side of the lake, and where there might be more current beside a deeper channel and a smaller shallow, and do the same thing again: surface, divers, and then plastics. And generally, what will happen is you'll do that. And pull the occasional fish that just, I mean, you stick it in front of their face, they will eat it. And then after, like at a certain time on a peak feed time, they'll all fire up, and all three will generally work unless the water's cold, and then the surface doesn't tend to fire up so much. But your divers and your plastics will still pull fish during those peak times when surface won't.
Yeah, okay. See, I would have thought you would have done the opposite. Like, go plastic, then diver, then if they're there and they're hitting, then go surface.
Oh no! If they're on the tube, so they'll come up and they'll fly up and hit surface on the first or second cast.
Yeah.
Because I think the main reason the surface is so productive when they're on fire is they can see that lure from a far better distance away. Yeah, you've got the splash action, you've got the darting around, you've got the water movement. They can feel that, plus the visual of being able to see it because it's on the surface. They can see it from a bigger distance away instead of having a diver or plastic working along the bottom, and they can only see it from 3 feet at 3 or 4 feet away. If you're in a metre of water, they can see that from 5 metres away.
Yeah,
And
they're
they
looking up.
Yep, and they're looking up, and they can see on that angle out from where their head is. And they'll actually see much further out onto the surface than what they will on a diver.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons is that they're so successful is because more fish see it on every cast.
Yeah.
Yep. And how many times have we thrown out the surface and all of a sudden you'll see a big bow wave coming from the left to the right. And it just comes in and and like it's coming from 5-10 meters away.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it'll stop, and next minute it's just a big hit.
Yep.
It is an awesome sight.
That's the addictive thing is when they're fired up and they're doing that sort of thing, man, there's just nothing better as far as flathead fishing goes.
Bloody oath. Yeah.
Just to see the bow wave coming in a foot and a half of water.
Yeah.
And I mean, even a 50, 60 centimetre fish will push a bow wave in a foot of water.
Yeah.
So when you've got an 80 or 90 doing it, man, it just blows your mind.
Yeah, you hold your breath, don't you?
Oh,
It's
hell
like,
yeah.
oh,
And you're sitting there twitching it, going, bite it, bite it, bite it.
yeah. So, but what's Josh got here? Have you ever fished a flat on the Tononi Corner? Yes, we've fished all those flats, haven't we, Glenn?
Yeah, a lot of that area, yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell. Plenty of brim there. Dizzy would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few flathead get up on there.
I wouldn't mind even trying on that rocky reef just upstream from there one day.
Yep. Yeah. And Joel says to chase the big girls, you got to accept the donut days, hey boys. Exactly.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
That's 100% right. And I don't know if you've seen this, Riley, but Matt said, "Tell Riley the fish to come with me." Pressure's on you, mate. You'll be right, mate. You'll be able to go out and have a bit of fun.
I come there and I'll watch you, but I'm not. Nah.
All right, so we've got three. We better give away some lures, Diz. You got three to give away, and we've already been going for an hour, and no one's been. Yeah, how's that? Okay.
Oh yeah, you fishing in the cold?
I am. I don't know about Glenn. Glenn's still thinking about it.
Glenn's still thinking about it.
Yeah.
We'll have to give away the pink one first.
I'll have that one.
No, I'll let it. Glenn, I'm going to let you scroll down through and choose someone.
Those stingers.
Yeah, I'm really interested in those stingers.
Yeah, I like the little tassels.
Yeah, bloody
Yeah,
hell.
I've just put a little bit of dressing on these.
Adam, I
On
can't
the,
scroll.
What do
On
you
the
mean
ones
you
I
can't
did the other day, feathers.
Oh, nice.
Now,
Bloody hell.
you know the secret. You know the secret about feathers, don't you? Oh, world's first lure. The first lure was made of feathers.
Oh, well, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell.
If you put a red.
When you're jerking this through the water and then you stop and that sits down like that, the slightest bit of movement is going to make this wiggle like it's a tail.
Yep.
Feathers, when they get in the water, they sort of float around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bloody oath.
Somebody's just jumped on and bought all the pink beds, mate. Sorry, mate. I just had notification. They're all gone.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay.
Yeah.
So
They
you're
won't
saying.
wait to win this one.
All right. Have you got someone there, Glenn? Because if not, I do.
Okay, you do it.
All right. We'll do.
seen it.
I'll do the pink one. All right. Okay. James has been firing a few questions all afternoon. I reckon we give him one.
Yep.
James Evans, if he's watching, still hopefully, then if he can message Dizzy at HM Lewis, and we'll give him the pink one, eh? All right. So Glenn, you can go to the next one, mate. If you can handle the pressure.
Oh, I just scrolling down. I've just noticed Anthony Butler's asked about the bricks, because Anthony did a retaining wall or cleaned up a retaining wall at his place. He gave me a trailer load of bricks.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So that was
Cool.
they're the ones that are all lining me back fence at the moment. But thanks for that, mate. But we just haven't been out to use them yet. But we will.
Yeah, that's right. We will very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon. Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah. So Glenn's going to choose the next one. Diz, what's the next colour? Diz, what do we? You pick a colour, Diz.
Green or gold?
Glenn likes
well, if I'm giving away, we'll make it the gold one.
It's Glenn, so we'll go with the gold.
Yeah. All right. Now, I don't know James. So how about James Evans?
Didn't I just do that one?
Did you?
Yeah.
You just give it to James. I wasn't listening to you. I was reading comments.
I just gave it to him, mate.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
I gave him the pink one.
Oh God. Well, I was going through and he's asked a few questions. I thought, oh, I'll give you. But I wasn't listening to you.
Oh, good
I
on
very
you.
rarely do. Oh, geez.
Come on, Glenn. Pull it together.
Hardly catching me to flathead.
Well, it is. It is.
Come on, Glenn.
All right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, mate.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Look, for multiple reasons, I'd give it to Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam. You go there. All right. And can you green? Okay.
Yeah, that one looks good, man.
All right.
Is it green or chartreuse?
Chartreuse, mate.
Chartreuse. All right. Okay.
That's probably a little bit more green than chartreuse, but
Oh yeah. It'll glow up like hell in the sun though.
That goes all right down Lake Macquarie. Green goes good in Lake Macquarie, doesn't it? Is it the green that goes good in Lake Macquarie?
Green chartreuse, man, always has been real good.
green goes good everywhere, mate. Come on.
It does. All right.
When I pick lure colours, I usually start with green.
All right. Well, what if we give Matt that one? He can try it down in Lake Macquarie. Since he waited patiently for Riley to come up.
Just get them to send me a message on HM Lures with their address, and I'll get them out to them tomorrow.
There you go.
Awesome.
Excellent. There we go. Okay, so those fellas can send Dizzy a message, then he'll get it out to you. That'll be great. And so that's that. Riley, do you have any more questions for Diz, mate?
So what's the go? Yeah, what's the go with like the stingers on the back now?
That's something new.
Okay.
I've actually those ones on these giveaway ones. I put the stingers on, and I put them on with wire, single strand wire, so you won't get no bite offs or rub throughs. But I've ordered a whole heap of properly made stinger hooks to go on the back. So once they turn up,
on a Dyneema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people run.
And they'll have a bit of flash.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just something different, because a few of the guys who have used the 120s have put stingers on and said they've got a little bit better hookup rate on the flathead. They reckon when the flathead grab the lure, a lot of the time they'll feel a bit of weight and then they feel it pull through, but they reckon then the stingers pick them up underneath the chin and hook them. So they reckon their hookup rate was better. So as I said, it's experimental. I'll do a little bit, see what happens. If I get good feedback, it'll stay. If I get bad feedback, it'll go.
I mean, it's definitely worth a try.
That's how we roll here.
Yep. When flathead come up and hit a surface lure like that, I reckon they completely lose sight of it when they open their gob. So and a lot of the time, it's a wild slash occasionally. Like when they're fired up, they'll just fly up flat out, open their mouth, they lose sight of it, and they can't make final adjustments as they're coming in. So I reckon a lot of the time a bad hookup is due to that, when a flathead opens its mouth, it can't see past its nose.
Nah. Well, so that's probably why you hook them on the top of the head and all that.
Sometimes you get them over the top of the head or at the back of the head, and sometimes they'll grab it and just completely miss, like hit the lure and not hook up at all. So I think that the stinger hooks should really increase the hookup rate.
Yep. It should be.
A lot of what I do with the lures, a lot of it's all experimental. I mean, I don't have the time to go out and test it. The best I can do is go on the pool and make sure things working the way they need to work.
Yeah.
And then I rely on the guys that are using them to give me the feedback. Does this work or not? If it doesn't, it goes. If it does, then it stays. How do we improve it? That's the only way. The only way the lures can evolve is by the feedback I get from the guys that I trust and rely on. That use the gear. So it's pretty simple.
Catch fish.
It's not necessarily. Catching fish helps, I suppose, but it's not just catching fish. There's a lot of other things that go into going fishing too. So you're sort of listening to a feedback. It's like a lot of the guys were saying how they're using such heavier rods to throw the bigger bent, but the bigger bent's catching the better fish. That's why this new one, we've lightened it up a lot to see if it's going to allow everyone to throw it on a bit lighter gear, which is a lot more friendly to throwing and casting surface all day long. Because surface is not something you can just you can throw easily and be consistent with it if you can't work that rod all day long. So if you've got a big heavy rod you're working,
Dog.
after a while
Yeah.
you've got to have a break.
Yeah.
Throwing
And
those
while you're
big-
having a break, your mate's casting and catching them. Isn't that right, Glenn?
Well, that's right.
We were
Yeah.
Every
throwing
time
those
Adam
big
sits
ones
down
on the
and picks the
weekend.
camera up, you start catching them.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yep. And fair income. I put the camera on him and he catches bugger all.
Because he knows when to do it. He knows
That's
that,
right.
oh, I've caught all the fish out there. I'll put the camera
Oh,
on
so
now.
you just admitted Glenn's a better fisherman than you.
See, I don't waste time casting when they're not on the tube.
We're just going to leave that there, Glenn. We'll talk about that later.
I just noticed there, Sam's made a comment.
Oh, has he?
Did you notice that?
No, well, hang on. We'll go there in a second. But Josh said Diz with the 120 surface handle will do definitely because they're a through wire, aren't they, Diz?
No,
They're not.
no.
I thought they were.
What, the 120 beds?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Oh, well, they're not really designed for even the shit we put them through.
But the guys are catching barra on them and they're not having any dramas, so I can't
No,
see anything
well.
else being a problem.
oh, there we go.
Don't see why not.
Yeah. No, you can only try, can't you?
It's yeah. See, what people don't realise is through wire is not necessarily stronger. It just guarantees that if the lure breaks up, you're still going to catch the fish.
Yep.
Whereas sometimes if you see, because when I put my wires in, I drill the holes and the holes go right up a long way, and the wire goes in, a significant way. So if I've got this here, I'll drill the hole all the way up here. The wire will go to about a little bit short of where the hole goes to, but that entire hole, I inject the glue into it and let it sit for 10 minutes so it soaks on into the wood on the inside, and then I screw the wire through and in. And when I get it all the way down, I can see the glue coming out. So it's packed full of glue, and that's 24-hour Araldite, which has got a 150 kilo rating.
Yeah. Good chance you're not going to fall
So
out.
Going
that
anywhere.
part where the wire is the strongest part of the lure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, fair enough. Well, there you go, Josh. That one answers your question. And Glenn, is this the comment you're mentioning of Sam's? Cheers,
Yeah, that's the
Glenn.
one.
Dizzy chucking him with the 4 I just ordered. So he's the one that just brought all your pink meds.
Oh,
Will
dude,
do, mate. Will do.
That's awesome. So what was I saying?
well.
Dizzy, I might, if you got time, I might get you back next week, and we might have a talk about Wallace Lake. I know it's your favourite brim spot, but you know how you took. I don't know if you want to talk about this. This could be the big secrets for the brim fishers. But do you remember when you took me out and showed me how to read the lake and how to find the brim and all that?
Yeah, pretty much. It's very simple.
Yeah, it is.
You
But
just got to make sure you know that you go to your mark and you stay on it.
that's right. What's that supposed to mean? But we might talk about that next week if you're happy to do that.
Oh, we'll talk about that in great detail next week, Adam.
Yeah, okay.
Just remind him you got to line up the fence post with the telegraph pole and the big pine tree.
Yeah, that's it. That's
And that's
it.
more accurate than Adam with his GPS.
But there's a way that Dizzy took me out. He took me out there. He showed me how to find the fish, read the lake, and it all comes down to depth and water temperature too, doesn't it? Yep, that's right.
Water temperature's number one.
Yep.
And once you know what water temperature they want to be in, it doesn't matter where you go in that system. You find that water temperature, you'll find the fish. It's that simple.
Yep. So we might talk about that next week. I'll do some videos up and we'll have a look and see what we can find. I don't have a GPS anymore either. It broke.
No.
So I've got to get new marks.
Just quickly, Matt asked about how long have a pause with the vents.
Okay.
As long as you can stand to have it sitting there.
Not long.
And
So
fair dinkum, it's amazing how many times we'll cast out, work at a couple of feet, pause, work a couple of feet, pause, turn around to do something.
Have a chat.
Have a chat and just leave it sit there, and 10, 15, 20 seconds or longer, and they'll come up and buff it on the top.
Yep.
That's crazy to me.
So honestly, the longer you can, and that's the hard part, is making yourself leave it there. Even if you can't stand to just leave it there and do nothing, give it one twitch, and then leave it again. But test yourself. Count to 30. It'll kill you, and then work at that extra that 1 or 2 meters, and then pause it again.
Yep.
The one proper strike that I had that you boys would have seen, that little clip that I got a while back last summer, I think it was. That was doing exactly what you just said. Like, I let it sit and I turned around. I don't know what I was doing, just something, and then I looked back, and then there was just this big bow wave.
Yeah.
It didn't, like, because it was so shallow, it didn't come up and like buff it. It just sort of like sipped the back treble down.
Yep.
And like you could hear it, like, sort of, and it created like a big divot in the water. And then like I tried to set the hooks, and I must have ripped it.
got excited.
Did you get a set of teeth out of it?
Yeah. But
It's a very, very hard thing to do. And even myself, I'll work a lure and then pause it, work it, pause it, and then think, shit, I'm only pausing it for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I force myself to stop. So I mean, create as much activity as you can in 1 meter, 2 meters, and then force yourself to stop. And I would say about 80% of the time the hits are coming on the pause.
Yeah.
So the action and the splashing gets their attention and gets them up close, and then when you pause it, basically it's a dying, wounded fish just sitting there, and it's an easy target then. They don't have to chase it; they can come up and hit it.
That's it. No wiser words have been said, Glenn.
I agree.
In Australasia.
Well, in the last 5 seconds.
That's right. Yeah. Except for what Dizzy said earlier, which
that's
was
right.
Yeah,
That's right up there.
Yeah, it was up there. We'll give you that. Yeah. Anyway, I think we might pull a pin, because it's
only been an hour and 20.
Yeah, hour and 20. Look at that, nearly 9 o'clock. This is way past your bedtime.
Way past my bedtime, mate.
Yeah, he asked me to start early so you can go to bed
all
earlier.
you've done is wasted an hour and a half of my lure making time. I don't know.
That's it.
Well, you better stay up an extra hour and a half so you can finish my lures.
That's it.
He's got to make some more.
I'm going to bed
now.
I can wait tomorrow.
Yep, no
I have
worries,
people
mate.
out the back ready to go.
That's all right then.
They've had their first coats.
Very good.
They're all hanging up out the back.
All right, give us a look.
Let's see. It's just. Oh, I don't know. Can you see these?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So they got the base coat, like the sealer on them.
Yep, that's the second coat of sealer.
Awesome. Very good.
So they get quite a few. They get about 4 coats generally before I get there. That's why some of them take so long, because I've got to let each coat dry. So it's not a matter of just when you finish, you just put a coat on and you can paint it and then put some epoxy on. Everyone's got to realise that the coats go on, and with the epoxy, you generally try to put your next coat on before the first one has completely gone off. It's still got a little bit of tackiness to it. That's what makes them stick well. Or you have to let them go off completely, get to a reasonable cure stage, give them a light sand, and then put another coat on. Yeah. So it all comes down to your time frame, how much you're making, and how you're actually doing it. So some lures can take me a week before I can even get to the painting stage.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
Then I've got the painting stage to go through, and then you've probably got another week to 2 weeks of the epoxy stage coming after that before they're really ready to go out, because they've got to sit here. They've got to cure for at least 4, 5, 6 days before I'm prepared to send them out. So it's at least a 3-week process from start to finish before the lure is actually ready to leave.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Glenn, stop throwing them away. All right, Dizzy hasn't got time.
Yeah, now that I know the amount of effort that
That's
goes
why
into
now
them, I
you
might
know
look
why I
after them.
say if you need something, don't leave it to the last minute to tell me because you're not getting it.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I think we might pull the pin, eh? That was a good chat.
No worries, guys. I'll see
No
you next
worries.
week.
Went good. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Dizzy.
No worries.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you
Yeah.
next week, Dizzy and Riley. We'll get you back on again soon so you can give us an update on what's going on.
Yeah, no worries at all. And,
All right.
yeah, hopefully you can do some more of that drone footage because that was epic, eh?
We will, mate. Glenn's got a new drone coming himself, so
Oh no.
and so have I. It's all happening.
It's only a cheapie, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
I won't be worried about smashing it into the lake.
Yeah, that's it.
Buy one of those waterproof ones that you can land on the water.
That's what Amy's doing for me. She's buying one for me for Christmas.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
He's looking to get the knob.
She said yes. She's asleep, but that'll do. Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
No worries. Take it easy, boys.
No worries. See ya.
See you, fellas.
See you later.
Bye all.
Catches. All right, Glenn. That's it.
Done.
We're out. Thank you, chat. Everyone that joined in tonight. It was an awesome night. Yep. And on that note, we will be back next week and we are going to hit the farewell button and I'll talk to you next week.
And next week's the lake, is it?
Next week will be Wallace Lake. Yep.
Awesome.
Dizzy's going to talk all about Wallace Lake, and you can talk about your flathead, Glenn, because you catch lots of flathead out at Wallace Lake, don't you?
Pick a few up.
Pick a few up. Yeah. All right, mate. I'll talk to you next week.
Catch ya.
Catch you next week. Oh, hang on. I've got to hit the button. Here we go.
Here I come and here I go, off along the dusty road to hell. To hell, to hell. So join my table, pour more wine. What's mine is yours, but what's yours is certainly mine. It's mine, oh mine. All your land and all your time, and your precious little child is mine. It's mine. Well,